Good morning. This is Evangelist Robert L. McKim, Sr. I have not been on here for a while because of a lot of things that's been going on with my health and in my life lately. I've been I've been resting basically and trying to get my health in check, kind of in check. Still don't got totally in check, but I'm working on it, and it will be better once I have a glorified body. I cannot wait until the Lord returns and the dead in Christ will rise first, and those who remain on earth alive will be caught up with them, and then we will be changed in a twinkling of an eye. Because this body that I have is not healthy. A lot of people think that I'll be holding a job, a full-time. Well, you gotta have a full-time job at minimum wage or greater in order to be able to survive in this world. The way things are going, out of reach for groceries. Milk has been hovering around $3 to $4. There's one place that does have it a lot cheaper, $2.89 regular price. Sometimes they might have it on sale for $2.60 something. $2.69 or somewhere around there. But anyhow, long story short, and that place is Walnut Creek Cheese in Walnut Creek, Ohio. Their milk has always been here lately, right around $2.89. There are There are places that have it for $2.99. And there are places that have it over $3. My mouth is dry. The medication I take at bedtime gives me dry mouth real bad. Anyhow, long story short, Walmart is way out of reach with milk. Basically almost $4 a gallon. That is totally outright ridiculous for Walmart. I remember when Walmart was always cheaper than somebody else. So if somebody else was, say, around $3.30 something, then they should be cheaper than $3.30 something, not greater than $3.30 something. What's going on with Walmart nowadays? Yeah, there are some things that is cheaper than some other places. So it's a juggle, and that's what I do. I juggle the stores in order to get the food, what I want, what my body can eat, in order to keep my sugar an even keel throughout the day, cheaper than what I can at one grocery store. If I just settled, say, going to Thorns, I'd be bringing in less groceries than what I would if I shopped around Walnut Creek Cheese, Sugar Valley Meats, or Baltic Country Meats, I think it's called, or Beitzel Meats for my meat, basically. Also, Walnut Creek Cheese has meat. Sometimes it's on sale there as well, and sometimes it's not. It's hit and miss on what's on sale. But we mostly get every month around 2 to 3 bags of shredded hash browns, basically with shredded potatoes, not cooked. You just buy the shredded potatoes in a 3-pound bag for $3.19 a pound. I have seen, shredded hash browns in these like patty forms. You only get 20 in a box for over $4. Let me tell you something. They are basically pre-cooked. I mean, what gives them that brown color on the outside? They're already pre-cooked in oils that is not good for my body. No diabetic should have that kind of oil in their body. Vegetable oil, granola oil, that's also high on saturated fats too. I mean, come on. Also, the blend oil. There's only a couple blend oils out there. One made by Crisco and the other one Smart Balance. Yeah, they're up there in price. Over $3 for a big thing of oil. But let me tell you something. It is better for you. Way better for you than all the other oils. Especially if you're diabetic. But there's people out there in my life that would rather have me buy the cheapest stuff that I know is not good for me or my body. Okay, right now my numbers is holding even. I mean, some things are down, not enough, but like my doctor would like. But he said, whatever I'm doing, basically, keep doing it. Well, how am I supposed to do it? So I got, more going out than really what I got coming in. I got some loans I had to take out a couple months ago in order to get my van fixed. A garage kind of hurt me on getting my van fixed. I kept hearing this noise all the time when I was driving it, and it kept getting worse, like a grinding noise. And long story short, took it there, and they said it was my brake pads and my rotors, and also the sway bar link was broke, and it was laying on the axle, and that was probably the noise I was hearing. Well, guess what? It wasn't the noise. It was also the wheel bearing. They told me it was probably the wheel bearing. So I went and got the wheel bearing, took it back to them. Then when I was out and about doing some things, then they said no, need you to come back to the garage. Went back to the garage. They said no, it was my brake pads and my when at first they said it was the rotors. Okay, they said it was the rotors. Then it was late. So we had to go home in the rental vehicle we was renting for a day. Then came back down early in the morning, and then they said it was my brake pads also. I'm like, wait a minute, my brake pads is under warranty. So took my brake pads back, and of course the old brake pads was a little bit cheaper, and then everything went up. The new brake pads was 20 something. The old ones were $19.99. So basically, I got $20 and some change back, because of the tax. But still, I had to pay more for the new pads, and even the rotors were more than what they cost over 2 years ago because that's when I originally put the rotors on. Was over 2 years ago. A little over 2 years ago. Chinese steel. But it still was making that noise. And on the way home, the wheel got hot. The lug nuts got hot. You could smell the brake pads getting hot. So I parked it. Called another garage. A couple of days later, took it to another garage, and they charged me $80-some to put the bearing on. Plus, I still had to buy the bearing. It was another $70-some with tax for the bearing. So I should have had that other garage just go ahead and put the bearing on, put all that other stuff on, and been done with it for one price. And then I had to pay somebody else to do it later. But no, I was listening to them, and I got burned. But as always, I'm always getting burned by people that think that they know better. The Bible says, and is very clear on this, in Psalms 1. Let me get to it here real quick. Psalms 1. See, Psalms 1. And it says in verse 5, a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attend wise counsel. And then in this red part here it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. But let me go on down here in 2, starting with 6, it says, for the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth came knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He guards the paths of justice, and preserves the way of the saints, his saints. When you will understand unrighteousness and justice, equality, and every good path. When wisdom enters your heart, and knowledge is pleasant to your soul. Where does, basically, where does true knowledge and wisdom come from? Where it comes from God. He allows us to learn certain things in certain times. Knowledge has increased. I mean, we got colleges everywhere. And you got schools. Well, you got put to this way. It is better to have a college education or some type of vocational training that certifies you in a certain area than it is just to go out, get a job, with a high school diploma. Because a high school diploma really doesn't cut it anymore. The jobs that are only for people with high school diploma are basically jobs that are in what they call food service jobs. Being, basically somebody starting out in McDonald's. Or, flipping hamburgers. Making hamburgers, putting French fries in the fryer, so on and so forth. Or Wendy's or Burger King or any of those fast food restaurants. But when it comes to disabled people, if they can do the job, they'll have them flip the hamburgers, make the hamburgers. Or they'll just have them walk around, sweep the floors, and wipe the tables off, and things of that nature. For minimum wage. The thing is, if you're on disability, SSI takes away $2 for every dollar you earn. So if you only earn, say, 400 and something, and you're getting 700 and something, basically you're not getting anything on Social Security. Maybe 100 and something. Maybe 100 and something. Because they know you can't totally live on that 400 something from your job. So, it's like you're not allowed to get ahead when you're disabled. I know this because I have went through an agency in the past called, at the time, Ohio Vocational Rehabilitation Services, or OBVR, Bureau of Vocational Rehabilitation Services. Long story short, at the time they just put me to work at Goodwill, and I was basically doing whatever piecework that they could get, and at minimum wage back then. Ended up in some legal issues because somebody that was working there was having some problems with her husband, and how long it was stupid, but that's all they do. And then when I was working at this other Goodwill store before it went out of business, just right around 9/11 at the time, 2001, if people only knew that when they gave donations, that their donations would end up in the dumpster, they probably wouldn't donate to Goodwill. But that's what I was basically doing. Every time someone brought all these shoes, I mean, like almost brand new shoes that haven't been worn very long, if ever, still in boxes, they end up in the dumpster. And then other things that the store thought that would not sell would end up in the dumpster. That's what your donations are going to. If they think it can't sell, it's in the dumpster. And they say these are agencies that's out there to help people. Help people my butt. Excuse my French. But that's what it boils down to. Is they are not doing anything really to truly help people. All they're doing is doing things to keep people under their feet, so that they can have their good cushy jobs, so they can show the government these numbers of people that they're supposedly helping that needs help, so they can get the tax dollars Then they need to keep their businesses alive or going to help people. But is it really helping anybody? Is it really, really, truly helping anybody? It might be helping some people, but it's not helping everyone. As the saying goes, you can help some people some of the time, but you cannot help people all the time. And again, the problem is that the system always thinks it's right. And then there was another time I went through BVR. They wanted well, basically, put it this way. It was back when I was attending Belmont Technical College for my degree in Applied Science and Mental Health Technology. If the job counselor, I went there basically to see if they can help me with gas to get back and forth. And for, well, later on, it turned out also to be help for vehicle repairs. Because my motor kind of, the head gasket's warped because it overheated on me. Long story short, the job counselor told me that if I was not already established in the college for a year and a half, he would not have helped me. Because, see, their goal is just to put people with disabilities to work. Later on, I got a job as a job coach, working for an agency that works with BVR. And honestly, I didn't know. I was still kind of under BVR. I thought since I already had my job, they would, take me off their books, because I had a job. I wasn't under BVR no more. But come find out, I was still actually under BVR while I had that job. I was traveling 60 miles one way from Carrollton to Coshocton to work for 4 hours a day. I was making 10 something an hour, more than minimum wage, because of my degree. Should be making more than that since I'm a doctor, but people don't want to accept my doctorate degrees, even though they're legal, they're binding, they're backed by an accreditation association. My degrees are accredited degrees. So academically, really, they are backed by an accrediting association, like all other colleges and degrees. But people do not want to recognize, because it's a church. And they got this mentality that church is just an internet church, and all you have to do is just send the money and you'll get your degree. No, I had to earn my degree. They sent me the material, and I had to study, take tests, and then I get my degree after all that's done. Just like you would do at college. You go to buy your books, you go to study, you go to classes and study, and then you earn your degree. I earned my degrees. Get it straight. And it was all through the mail. U.S. mail. U.S. Postal Service. Not the internet. Because the internet at the time Didn't exist in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s while I was studying. The internet did not come about until 1995. Because, well, they had some internet, but not the internet as we have it today. You know, they came out with Windows 95, then later Windows 98, then XP and Vista, which was a flop. Then Windows 7, which was like XP. And now they got Windows 8, which is also a joke. Oh, people like Windows 8. But they're being brainwashed. That's what it is. Brainwashed because why would you want to sign into your own computer? It's your computer. You go out, you buy it, you purchase it. It's yours. Why would you want to sign into a Microsoft account to get into your own computer? Because they want to control you. They want to control your thoughts. They want to control what you buy. It's all about control. And so they will also know where you are. They can ping you if you start talking about any kind of terrorist stuff. Threats to our nation. Or anybody else for that fact. It's all about control. There's more steps that you have to go through on Windows 8 to turn it off or to get somewhere. I hate it with a passion. I do not want to be controlled while I'm on the internet. I want to control the internet. I want to control my computer. I don't want to be controlled. Got it? I'm not going to be controlled by anybody. I'm a prophet of Jesus Christ. Heed His word. There's going to be a time that there's going to be a one world government, one world religion, and then we have to take the mark of the beast. But if the Christians refuse to take the mark of the beast, then guess what? We are going to be hunted down, because that is one of my dreams. We are already on shaky ground. Ground is constantly rolling up and down, up and down, up and down. And that was one of my dreams. And the ground was hot underneath my feet. Well, listen, I gotta get off here. My time on here is almost up before it kind of reverts to doing another video. So I'm going to say, God bless you. Pray that Jesus will come into your heart. Ask Jesus to make you born again, because you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven unless you are born again. This is not the kingdom of heaven on earth, as some other people claim it to be. That is a false doctrine, a false religion. And I know people out there that's preaching it. They're not preaching Jesus Christ. Therefore, they're antichrist. If they're not preaching Jesus Christ, if they're not believing in love of one another and helping one another, then they are antichrist. As this one person put it, Jesus for the Jews and Paul's for the Gentiles, and I'm a proud Gentile. Well, he's also a proud fool is what he is. Plain, pure, and simple as that. No ends, ifs, or buts about it. Jesus said, if you love me, you keep my commandments. And people will know you are mine because you love one another. Have a blessed day.